So did you hear that boom? People across southwestern Pennsylvania certainly did this morning. People heard their windows rattle and felt their walls shake as the boom echoed across the sky.
What was this strange thing that happened to many of us?
A lot of people throughout the area questioning what that loud boom was this morning. And a loud boom New Year's morning that left many wondering what happened.
Seismic activity was ruled out.
And I know people reported earthquakes, but the seismographs weren't registering anything. So then we were thinking, wow, what could this be?
Now, there's no official confirmation yet if it was a meteor explosion, but it is the most likely explanation for now.
Tells me it's a meteor.
Yeah.
So with that being said then, Ray, like what's so interesting to me though is how there were certain clusters of people who felt this. You know, it's not like a whole widespread feeling across Pittsburgh or even a little beyond, right? I mean, where I live, I did not feel it, but seeing some of the video that people sent in, it looked incredible.
Some people say it's like 1 to 2 tons of TNT going off.
Very interesting.
What a way to start 2022, I'll tell you that.
Like with a boom like that, right?
In capital cities around the world, New Year's Eve celebrations were more muted than they would be normally.
It's been a wet, windy and wild start to 2022. Tropical cyclone Seth has forced beaches to close.
The dying remnants of Seth's original fury managing to push more waves through the Currumbin Surf Club car park.
200 metres dividing North and South Bribie, sand crumbling away every second. Experts say extreme weather events and their extreme impacts will become more frequent.
We do begin with that wildfire disaster in Colorado. Hundreds of homes destroyed by the fast-moving flames, now the most destructive fire in the state ever.
Hundreds of homes have been destroyed after cyclonic winds fanned massive fires in Colorado.
Entire communities now an apocalyptic wasteland. Have you seen anything like this before?
Well, nothing with the pace of this fire.
Wind gusts of more than 100 miles per hour fueled the flames, destroying everything in its path, including nearly 1,000 homes.
There's ashes in the sky and fire in the ground.
Roaring through homes, communities, entire towns.
Apocalyptic devastation, entire neighborhoods wiped from the map.
The fire was moving basically at the same speed of the wind.
This security camera showing how fast the fire hit. It was sparked by power lines toppled by strong winds. Down the road at Costco, shoppers scrambled for the exits, some still pushing trolleys. The wind almost knocking them over as they ran for their cars.
Oh my God.
Once behind the wheel, they struggled to find a way through the smoke and flames.
We're gonna get crashed on, guys. God help us right now. God help us.
Holy! Did you guys just see that? Come on, come on, come on.
President Biden promising federal aid as the same area is now bracing for up to half a foot of snow.
It's a new twist in Colorado's battle against the elements. Just days ago, heat from raging wildfires was the problem for people here. Now it's the cold. It was called a New Year's miracle.
In Indonesia's Aceh province, days of unrelenting rain has forced thousands of people from their homes. At least 15 sub-districts are affected. Many parts of Indonesia experience flooding during the monsoon season from November to March. But some people here told Al Jazeera they have never seen floods like this.
Now Now for the latest on Sunday's earthquake in Yunnan province. 23 people were injured in the magnitude 5.5.
Attention please. Trains are currently traveling at reduced speed as we are performing safety checks due to the earlier earthquake.
Welcome back at 12:10. 10 earthquakes have now been recorded in South Carolina in less than 2 weeks, with 2 just this morning alone. Both were near Lugo.
No exception, it seems, for the president either, as Joe Biden was stuck on Air Force One for a while before braving wild winds, having to improvise with a different type of face mask. As the White House, well, got whiter, the surrounding area soon got chillier.
Out west in Washington state, heavy rain and snow fell across the Puget Sound. Rising floodwaters closed a 20-mile stretch of a major interstate, and there were at least 21 water rescues. The storm in the east came just as several states were experiencing a critical shortage of snowplow drivers.
Has the snowplow industry faced something like this before?
I don't think so.
In upstate New York, icing and low visibility created treacherous conditions Thursday. Outside Buffalo, 18 inches of snow set a new daily record. In Kentucky, dozens of vehicles spun out of control along a highway, and low visibility backed up traffic, making driving nearly. And in Jackson, Tennessee, multiple accidents brought I-40 to a standstill, including this jackknife tractor.
This is Dabu7. It truly looks like this food apocalypse has begun and is underway. For anyone living under a rock, it is on. And for people out there that go into one store and say, everything looks good in my town because they went into one store, they have a rude awakening coming as well. Many areas that were reporting here for the past couple months that everything seemed fine, that's not the case anymore. From New York down to Texas over to California, each and every state has people reporting in now, and I'm getting it en masse. And we have multiple issues that are going on. I mean, we can look here at images across the board that are flooding in constantly of people saying the same thing, whether it's bread, noodle, meat, rice. It just doesn't matter. Edible oils, this is the newest. They hit a record high here. And guess who is the #1 importer of all this? China and India. Yeah, the same China that is hoarding almost half of the world's grain supply right now. That China. Same China that's marching all over the world, non-stop, doing whatever they want, connected to all these atrocities, yet no one's calling them out. No one is stopping them. And whoever's in that White House seems to have bended a knee. We ain't having this. If you guys are going to sit back and watch your country go down the tubes, that is on you. Other people are going to make moves. And when they make these moves and things happen and maybe even they die, oh well, some people checked out of here in a legendary tip, riding for what they believed in, instead of sitting on that ass doing nothing, watching this whole thing get swept away. So, what are you doing? Just waiting for it to hit your grocery store before you make a move? A smart person, a wise person, would see that this is happening far and wide, even if their grocery store was stocked. And they would be making moves, seeing what is coming around the corner. That's why we put this information out there, to hopefully save lives and to keep people prepared. But to be honest with you, after a decade of telling you to get ready, getting ready time is over. You either have a plan and you implement it from here, or I don't even know what to tell you, because you sat around doing nothing all this time. For everyone that says, oh, I can't, I had no way, garbage. I come from the gutter. Where there's a will, there's a way. And if you want to survive, you will. If you don't want to, then you won't.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. I want to give all honor, glory, and infinite praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to like scattered abroad, pushing this truth and sincerity. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, Barakatum, to Zaquanium, Wa'akim, Wa'akwafium, you elders, you brothers, you sisters, the hopeful elect, out there laboring, keeping the commandments to the best of your ability, giving diligence, make your calling and election sure, and of course, keeping faith in the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and His beloved Son, our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, in these last days, in these perilous times that we're living in. This is Brother Pashai, Bon Yashala, and this will be a quick lesson through the spread and power of Yahweh Shai on the beginning of sorrows. And like we see in the intro, right, the video clip that played in the intro, that was from the channel Jason A. And basically, he basically goes into different biblical events that's happening worldwide. So when I seen that video, you had that big boom that happened in Pennsylvania that they believe was a meteorite. You had a whole bunch of Indonesia floods, earthquakes in China, 10 earthquakes in South Carolina. You had the wildfires in Colorado. Then right after that, they had to deal with the snowstorm, severe winter weathers. So it was extremely hot, then now it's extremely cold. And they called it, New Year's miracle, right? And basically, we know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem El Shai, Elder Apostles to hardcore and what the year of Yahweh Shem El Shai turning up. And as soon as the year began, like I said in the intro, they had that big boom in Pennsylvania, man. 2022 is going to be a hell of a year. A year of destruction, a year of sadness, a year of misery, a year of despair, desolation, gloominess, woes. You see, that's the time that we in, man. Right? And these are all just the beginning of sorrows. Right? Our Lord Yahweh Shah prophesied of these things. He told us these things will happen before He make His return. You see? So we gotta remain on our watch and continue linking up these current events, with the prophecies. And as well, also intro, the Dabu 7 video, right? It's basically he always going to good content as well, things going on around the world as well, famine, ammo, ammunition shortages, so on and so forth, and he was breaking it out, man. You see that a lot of these stores, have they're experiencing food shortages. You see, the shelves are empty. Now like he mentioned, we may go to our local stores, and see some food there. But that don't mean it's not happening around the world, man. Now is the time, he was saying in the video, now is the time to fully prepare, so on and so forth, because what happens when, basically shit the fan. And that's what's coming to America, Babylon the Great. See, the people, the Babylonians, the Egyptians, the so-called Americans, they are in La La Land. They're under a spell, under the illusion of everything is okay. Just because something didn't happen to them, they don't see it happening. You see that? But guess what? Look at everything that's happening around the world, not just in America, Babylon the Great. Look at Indonesia, look at China, look at Japan, look at what's going on in Austria right now, man. They're on another lockdown, right? And I believe, look what's going on in Kazakhstan, man. It's like a scene out of a apocalyptic movie that they were saying. They're beheading police officers, so on and so forth, right? And we can't forget what's going on in America, Babylon the Great. They're getting ready to deploy the National Guard. They're getting people's minds prepared to see the National Guard on a daily. I was doing deliveries the other day, and I seen, just military men with, automatic rifles, whatever you call them. They have the, the big rifle guns. You see, like I rolled by them, I look and I'm like, oh shit, they posted, man. You see, so we're in that time, man. We're in that time of major judgment. We're in that time of major plagues. We're in that time of major pestilences. Things that get turned up in these last days, and we have to pray for more faith to endure through it all. Right? Now, we're going to go back to Matthew 24th chapter, right? And this time I'm going to start up some. Right? Let's get Matthew chapter 24. And we're going to, start at verse 1. Right? Matthew 24, verse 1. And Yahweh Shai went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him forth to shew him the buildings of the temple. And Yahweh Shai said unto them, see ye now all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And that happened back then during the time of 66 to 70 AD. You know, basically, you know, the siege of Jerusalem and the Romans, you know, besieged Jerusalem. That happened back then, of course. But 70 AD gonna happen all over again, man. And it's gonna be way worse. All these buildings you see, all that gonna get toppled down, man. Terrorist attacks. You're gonna have nukes. Of course, the nukes gonna topple everything. You know, you can have all type of things going on. Man, natural disasters knocking things off. You see the wildfires, what happened? Those are spirits created for vengeance, man. You saw the buildings on fire falling down. You see? There's a lot of terrible times that we're in. Verse 3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Right? So the disciples wanted to know when our Lord Yahushua will make his second coming, right? And when will be the end of this man's rulership? Because back then they was under the Roman captivity, right? The Roman rule. And now the Roman Empire has been revised today. That was a Greco-Roman Empire. Now today we have the Roman Empire being revised. You know, NATO, EU, the beast system, and everything. Instead of these, you know, patting everything after the Roman Empire, man. You see that? So the end of whose world? 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. Esau's world, man. The so-called white woman and child. Starting with the elites on down. Their world is coming to an end. Their society, their age of ruling is coming to an end. So the disciples wanted to know that. Right? In verse 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, or I am anointed. Right? And shall deceive many, a lot of false prophets. Right? And we see that that's a lot of false prophets out here, man, amongst camps, amongst Christianity, you know, amongst all type of stuff, man. It's a lot of false prophets out here, man. Right? So it says, verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars, and we're hearing of wars, and rumors of wars. We hear that all the time. Things going on over there, you know, with Ukraine, with Russia, things going on between Iran and Israel. You see that? Things going on between Babylon and North Korea. You know, Babylon, which is America, and Russia. You see that? Those are wars and rumors of wars, man. You see, I believe Ukraine want to join NATO, but Russia not having that shit, which proves that Russia is not a part of the beast that the elder Apostle Har is bringing out, man. You see, so wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. These things must happen. But the end is not yet. We're not, you know, quite there yet. All these things got to happen. Right? It says, for nation shall rise against nation. That's going to race wars. That's going to happen in America, Babylon the Great, in a large scale. That's in Isaiah the 13th chapter, 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter, you know, amongst other scriptures, man. Right? It says, and kingdom against kingdom. That's World War III. Kingdom against kingdom. You see that? That's Russia versus, like I was just mentioning. Right? That's going to happen very soon. And it says, and actually that's happening right now. You have kingdom against kingdom right now. They're against one another, man. They're not on agreement. You see? And there shall be famines, food shortages, man, which is going to lead to major extreme scarcity of food and water. And now when that famine kick in, man, it's going to get terrible out here. You see, when people are hungry, they get desperate. When people get desperate, they do desperate things. And what's on desperate things? They loot, they steal, they kill, you know, they murder, you know. And they'll eat people, man. It's going to give to cannibalism, you know, because of the lack of, you know, food and the lack of water. It says, and pestilences, which are diseases, viruses. And now you have a new, you know, variant. I believe they're calling it, I'm not even going to say it, that's a matter of fact. Right? But you got a new variant. They got 46 mutations. Before that, you had the Marion. You see that? You had the Lambda. I'm not even going to say all the different names of the variants. Right? But you got a whole bunch of pestilences, man. And don't forget, wicked Bill Gates talking about releasing a bioweapon, which is, you know, a small POX bioweapon. You see? So it's getting bad. And it says, and earthquakes in diverse places. So it's going to be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in different places, man, around the world. And like the video in the intro was mentioning how it was 10 earthquakes in just South Carolina, 2 in that afternoon. Then you had earthquakes in China, floods in Indonesia, wildfires. You know, you had a fire that has killed 19 people in the Bronx, man, and killed 9 children. You see that? That's how bad it's getting. judgments are playing out. Those are all spirits created for vengeance. I'm gonna get that a little later, Lord willing. Don't forget it. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up right now. As a matter of fact, might as well. Right? Those are spirits created for vengeance, man. Sirach 39 and verse 28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. Right? So behind these wildfires and, deaths, around all this stuff, destruction, you see that? It's angels that the Lord will send, to cause these things. It says, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Who made them? Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. It says, verse 29, fire and hell. It was a hailstorm in Egypt, right? Like you see in the video clip in the intro, it was a hailstorm in Egypt, man. Those are hailstorms, hell, coming down. Fire and hell and famine, right? And death. A lot of people have been dying, man, since 2022 began. You see, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his words. So when the Lord command them to bring forth the destruction, bring forth wildfires, hailstorms, cyclones, they call it Cyclone Seth. You see that over there? In different parts of the world, you got destruction, earthquakes, right? Those are all spirits that was created for vengeance, man. That's why they name these different hurricanes after different names and stuff like that, man. It's a spirit behind it. You see, that's causing this stuff, and they appeasing the wrath of the Heavenly Father. You see that? So from there, 2 Ezra 16. Oh no, it's a little more Matthew 24. So Matthew 24 in verse places, verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows, right? Like the title of this lesson is. All of this is the beginning. So now from there, right? It's more in Matthew 24 chapter. This whole chapter is a beautiful chapter, right? But we're gonna get 2 Ezra 16 in verse 18, right? It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So we're in a time of famine, wars, death, mourning, sorrows, man, woes. That's the time that we're living in, man. Then we get turned up. You see that? And a lot of, internal strife gonna happen because of the juice, the mandates, people losing jobs, people losing their homes. They're gonna get desperate. Now that it's cold too. People been wearing a mask since 2020. Now the immune system all fucked up. Everyone, people get sick easily. You know what I'm saying? Catching, different, variants, so on and so forth. They people taking the juice and still catching, the C1 and the people gonna start, like, what the fuck? You have a lot of wars going on, man. Which is with the prices going up, you can have fuel prices going up. You can have food prices going up. Supplies, everything, prices can just be going skyrocket, man. Which we've been seeing already. Prices on different meats and stuff like that. That used to be what, $9 for a slab of lamb or a slab of some ground beef. Now that thing is, $13, $14, man. Then, now it's getting up to like $16. They're gonna just keep going up. It's inflation. We're gonna lead to hyperinflation. You see, was the value of the dollar crumbling, so they could bring forth their ultimate goal, which is the CHIP, which is the Karagma, which is gonna be the new currency. So we're in that time right now, and that's what's going on over there in Kazakhstan. Basically, fuel prices went up, and they wasn't having it, man. They over there just tearing shit down, man. You see? So it says, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves be in a good case. Like right now, they got the delusion that they're in a good case. They're in a good predicament, but they're not. And even then shall evils go upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So right now, evils are growing upon the earth, man. Right? Sword, wars, right? Famine, food shortages, and great confusion. People confused, not know what's going on. Right? Not know what to do. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. So our famine is gonna be bad, man. A lot of people are gonna die of starvation. That's one of the worst. That's one of the worst ways to die. And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So there's no escape for the wicked, man. Only the elect are gonna get taken care of in these days, right? And it says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. So the dead gonna be cast out like shit. That's what dung is, you know. So it's gonna be dead bodies everywhere, man. But so, and that's also in Amos. What's that? The 8th chapter, at verse 3, if I'm not mistaken, man. So it's gonna be dead bodies everywhere. So we're in that time right now. We're at the beginning of sorrows, right? It's a lot of things going on around the world. I actually want to look up the definition of sorrows. It says, a feeling of deep distress caused by loss, disappointment, or other misfortune suffered by oneself or others. You know, so sorrow, man. People gonna be feeling deep distress because they're gonna be losing a lot of things, losing loved ones, losing their homes, losing their property, losing their cars, you know, losing food and water, losing sleep. You know, they're gonna be disappointed in, you know, in themselves, in the beast system that's set up. You know, they're gonna be disappointed they trusted in the beast and, you know, slept with Vanessa. It says, in other misfortune suffered by oneself or others, right? So it says sadness, unhappiness, you know, dejection, regret. People are gonna regret trusting in the beast, man. People gonna be sad, miserable, depression. It says despair, desolation, gloom, heartache, low spirits. Right? It says woe, it says grief, it says down. It says dolorous, man. People gonna be down, man. People gonna, you know, have that spirit of woe is me. Like they're gonna be grieving. Right? So these are the beginning of sorrows, man. The beginning of sadness, the beginning of regret, the beginning of depression and misery and sadness and gloominess, man. Desolation, destruction gonna be happening, man. You see? So this is the time that we're in right now. We gotta remain on our watch, man, and continue praying that the Lord have mercy upon us, because we know the days of trouble is at hand, but the Lord gonna deliver us from the same. I also want to end it off with 2 Urges 2 and verse 27. I didn't want to make this too long, just the point. Basically, kind of like a news report. You know, you saw the video clips that played in the intro, things going on around the world, famines, food shortages, empty shelves, you know, edible oil prices, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that is about to go up. So, it's a shortage on, you know, stuff like that. You know, it's a lot of things going on right now, man. So we got to pray that Yahweh Shemel Shai find us worthy to, you know, get delivered, and we make it up out of this place, you know. 2 Urges 2 and verse 27, be not weary. So we not to be weary. Like our Lord Yahweh Shai said, you know, be not afraid. You know, it says, be not weary, for when the day of trouble in heaven is coming, which is the time we in right now, it's approaching rapidly. Others shall weep and be sorrowful. So others can be in our sorrowful, grieving, depressed spirit. You know, but it says, but thou shalt be merry, which is happy, and have abundance. Why are we happy? Because we know the end all be all. And we're going to have abundance, meaning the Lord will provide for us, man. How? We don't know, but He's going to do it, man. I can name infinite amount of scenarios that brothers and sisters could be in, and the Lord can provide for us, man. It's all throughout the scriptures. You know, with Elijah, the Lord fed him with ravens. The Lord, I always mention this, the Lord literally sent an angel to teleport the prophet Habakkuk to Daniel and the lions to bring him food. Habakkuk was making food for the reapers, for the needy of his people. And the Lord sent the angel, and the angel told him, not bring that to Daniel and Babylon and the lions. And he said, I don't even know what Babylon is. Neither do I know what that den is. Then he grabbed him by his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit set him in Babylon over the den. And he brought him the food, and he was like, Daniel, take this food the Lord brought for you, man. And Daniel, what did Daniel say? Dawadi Habashim Yal Shah, basically like, you don't forget those that serve you, man. You remembered me. Roughly paraphrasing what, you know, my forefather, the prophet Daniel, said. You know? So he was in there chilling, man. What about Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego? They got thrown into a fiery furnace for not bowing down to that wicked ass image Nebuchadnezzar set up. You know, did they die? Did the Lord have them perish in that fire? No. They came out as pure gold, man. You see that? They didn't get harmed at all by the fire. They was dancing in the fire. They walked into the fire praising Yahweh Shemel Shai. So walking into the afflictions that we about to go through, we got to walk through it, walk into it praising Yahweh Shemel Shai. walking into 2022, the year of Yahweh Shem Shai, turning up, praising Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, exhorting one another, continue daily in his faith, man. But it says, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, save the Lord. Right? And heathen, of course, going to the other nations, but you got a lot of our people that still like unto heathens. They're still into heathenistic customs, right? So these other people out here, they're going to envy the elect. And Lord willing, we're part of that number. They're going to envy us, right? But they're not going to be able to do nothing against. Why are they going to envy us? They're going to see the things that we have and they don't. They're going to be, why is he so calm? Why he like he just ate a great meal? Why he don't look dehydrated? Why is his lips not, chapped? you know, people get dehydrated, their lips be all chapped and, breaking apart. Brothers are going to be good, man. Sisters are going to be good. Their children are going to be good, man. Why? Verse 29, my hand shall cover thee so that thy children shall not see hell. Hell meaning death, the grave. So our children, brothers that got children, they're not going to die, man. The Lord can protect his elect. He's going to save you and your whole household. Have faith in that, right? That's if it's be of his will, right? Because each brother got their own lot they got to go through, but we got to read these scripts and remember and apply it, you see? See, now it's time to really apply the things we've been learning, starting with the elders and apostles on down. Things that we've been learning from our elders and apostles, we got to really apply it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we learn this truth, we know it, but do we understand? Do we have the wisdom? See that? We got to really meditate upon this and really apply it to our day-to-day walks, right? Because we know things about to get bad, but we want to have faith and trust in our power that he's going to protect us during it, right? Is that not written? That I'm reading it now. He gonna deliver us, man. Have faith, you brothers, you Akim, and you sisters, you Akwafim. So it says, be joyful, thou mother, with thy children, you sisters out there. For I will deliver thee, saith the Lord. It says, remember thy children that sleep, for I shall bring them out of the sides of the earth, and show mercy unto them. For I am merciful, saith the Lord Almighty. So the Lord is merciful, man. He gonna have mercy upon his elect. So as a matter of fact, I got one more. I'm ending off with this one. Sirach 2. And this whole chapter is beautiful. But I'm gonna get straight to the point. I want to get verse 10. It says, look at the generations of old and see, like I mentioned some examples, the Meshach, Shadrach, Abednego, Daniel, the lion's den. You see that? I mentioned some examples earlier, how the Lord had mercy upon his elect and never forsook them, right? Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? So call upon Yahweh Shem Shai, man. He's not gonna despise you. He's not gonna forsake you. You're not gonna be confounded, man. Our enemies will, but not the elect. And Lord willing, we are part of that number. Verse 11, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. So woe to those that's afraid, man, that don't trust in Yahweh Shem Shai. You see that? We gotta have faith in our power. He's gonna save us in the time of affliction. You see that? So I'm gonna end it right there. Matter of fact, let's read on down. It says, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended. So if you faint-hearted about the things that's coming, you're not gonna be defended, man. We gotta walk into this stuff praising Yahweh Shem Shai and having trust in him, right? We want to be defended, man. Woe unto you that have lost patience, those that follow this truth, they lost patience. And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? Now the Lord visiting the earth, which he made. What you gonna do now, man? What you gonna do when the Lord send back Yahweh Shai? What you gonna do then? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. And that's what we're doing to the best of our ability, man. Because we fear him. And the fear of the Lord is what? The beginning of wisdom. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. So the Lord have mercy upon his elect, man. We're going to fall into the hands of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So I'm in it right there, and I praise God the Father through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to give call Liam, La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations like scattered abroad, pushing his truth and sincerity. Without him, say Shalom, while Ba Shalom.